I'm Rebecca, and today we're going to be looking at my currently inked of December, or for December. As I scooch myself in, I have this half prepared. I've written down the pens and the nibs already and done my inky irises to show shading and how swatches look. And I'm just going to add in the ink names. The reason I prepared so much in advance is because I recorded this yesterday and it was an over 40-minute video, and that was ridiculous. So not as much writing, not as much talking today. So my Franklin Christoph Wonder Pens, this is a model 45 in the bronze material, which is a gray. And this is an 18 karat gold medium Mike Masayama stub. Franklin Christoph no longer does the 18 karat stubs, 18 karat gold number 5 nibs, which is unfortunate because I adore this. This is my favorite nib of all my nibs, and I have some pretty spectacular nibs. So this ink is by Inkabara, and it is number 425 Coral. Now this is more an orange than a true coral. Coral in my head is a combination of pink and orange, but I guess coral in some other people's head is more orange. And I have a real piece of coral jewelry, pendant, and it is a vibrant red. So coral varies depending on where in the world you get your coral from. Mine is from the Adriatic Sea and it's bright red. I've seen coral be a much lighter color, and yeah, it varies. So next up is my Sailor Pro Gear Slim Mini in the taupe material, taupe body. And it has a 14 karat gold, hard, medium fine. And I'm not a fan of Sailor nibs as they come from the factory. I find them a little too feedbacky and a little too scratchy for me. I know some people absolutely adore them, but I'm not that big on feedback. So I had it smoothed and tuned by Jack Hernandez. And this ink is Troublemaker Rodeo. And it is a beautiful dusty mauve, so a brown pink. And I really like it. I've been enjoying writing with it. I've also been enjoying writing with the pen. I'll bring that back because it's such a little guy. It has a tiny, tiny converter in it. The converter holds virtually no ink at all. So I can write a couple of pages and then it's out of ink and I can put a different ink in it. And I've been having fun with that all month. This is the third ink I've had in this pen this month, and I don't write with the pen very much. So having fun. My third pen in the block is my Franklin Christoph Cross Wonder Pens Pocket 20 in the bronze. This was like the first one, the first pen. This was from quite a few years ago, maybe 6-7 years ago, maybe 5. Anyway, quite a few years ago. And they no longer offer this material, but you can get all sorts of beautiful Franklin Christophs off their website, the Franklin Christoph website. So this is a medium Mike Masayama stub. Mike Masayama now has his own grinding business. He no longer grinds for Franklin Christoph, hasn't for quite a few years. And you can get his grinds from mailing your pens to him or buying his nibs. Now the ink is Sailor Manio Haha, which is very complex. You can see down here on the inky iris, it's a light blue with periwinkle leanings with green halo and pink where it's laid on heavily. It's a stunning ink, and you can see some of that those beautiful properties in the ink if you focus down on the writing Now I'm focused in as much as I can with my camera right now. If I change my focus, it's going to screw everything up, so I'm not touching it. Yeah, I hope you can see it. So up next, sorry for bumping the camera there, is my Onishi Sesakusha celluloid in Sakura. It has a smooth, fine nib that was tuned and smoothed by Jack Hernandez. It came with a scratchy nib that was uncomfortable, so I sent it away, and now I can write with it. The ink is very old. It's from the Gentle line, which has been discontinued for years, and it is called Pesh, or Peach. This is more of a corally pink, in my view. It has a hint of orange or yellow in it. It's a beautiful color, and it perfectly matches the pen body. So it makes the basic bitch in me happy when I match my pens to my pen body. Next up is my Faber-Castell Hexo in bronze with a factory fine nib, and the ink is Diamine. Let me just pull this down a touch. Masquerade. It is a lovely dusty brown pink, brown mauve, very similar to Troublemaker Rodeo, but a little more brown, a little less pink, and it has shimmer in it. And I'm really enjoying shimmer inks in this particular pen and nib. It's working really well. Next up, we have another Faber-Castell Hexo. This one is in the rose colorway. And this ink that I have in it is another coral, and it's Colorverse C Europa, OPA. It's shading a little more than it used to. You can really see the shading, like that S in rose is very light. The bottom of the E, the O, the bottom of the R, very dark. It's shading a lot more than it used to. I know that because I'm not a huge fan of extreme shading. I prefer gentle shading. I prefer my inks to be almost flat, not quite flat, but almost flat. So this one is shading more than it used to. That's either due to evaporation or, I don't know, maybe the ink is changing in the bottle. So we'll see. I don't know. Next up, trying not to bump the camera while I do this. It's very difficult. Is my Leonardo Momento Zero in Blue Hawaii. This was my first Leonardo. And I don't write with blue inks much at all. They have to be blue inks with something else going on, like Manyo Haha, Sailor Manyo Haha was a blurple, a blue purple, almost a periwinkle. This is a turquoise that I'm writing with, but it is really difficult to make me choose a traditional dark blue or a blue black or even a bright blue in traditional tones. I like my blues to either have some mud in them or some green in them. I don't like true blues. I wrote with them for years and years and years in Bic pens and various other pens, G2s, etc. And I am tired of plain old purple. So this pen was a stretch for me, a challenge for me to get me using blue inks. And it's a lovely pen, my first Leonardo. Has rose gold trim. And this ink is, I'm going to need to slide this down a bit. There we go. Waringal Robinson Crusoe. Beautiful, clean turquoise color. Next up is another Leonardo. and it is my Momento Zero in the Giada or Jade color. When I first saw this teased on Instagram by Leonardo, I fell in love hard and immediately ordered it. So I have inked it with, what have I inked this with? Let me grab one. Who makes this? I know the name of it. Oh, it's Vinta. It's Vinta Inks. Right. Vinta Inks. Sea Kelp. Now, I love this particular pen body because, like the Blue Hawaii, it has many shades in it. This has many shades of green. It has soft, sagey, grayed greens. It has very soft, clear greens. It has yellow greens, golden greens, darker bits that allow me in my brain to put darker greens in it. So I can use a forest green or I can use an emerald green, and it seems to match somehow. So to my brain, this is a very versatile pen material. Next up, you can hear my dogs being monkeys, is another Leonardo Momento Zero, and this is, that's a dog drinking, and it's loud because she is a big dog and she drinks big. So this is a Leonardo Momento Zero in angel skin with a broad nib. I just bought it, and Van Ness was out of the medium, which is my preferred nib, so I had to go with a broad. And what ink is this? This is Three Oysters Buck Hansen. Bukhansan, Buck Hansen. I have one more pen to get through and I can let you guys out. I swear I will let you guys out in a moment. Please don't eat the cat. The cat is sitting on the table near me, and the dogs, well, the puppy. We have two English Mastiffs, an 8-year-old and an 8-month-old. And the 8-month-old is trying to eat the cat. She loves the cat. They play together all the time. There goes the cat. And she just wants to suck on the cat's fur. It's gross and involves lots of combing. Last pen on the page. Another corally pen with another corally ink. This is my Osprey Milano in the Rose Quartz colorway. And I bought this pen from Osprey because they offer custom nib grinds, pre-ground custom nibs. And I bought it with a broad architect and a double broad architect. And it turns out I don't like either of those nibs. As much as I want to be a broad and a double broad person, I'm not. I'm a medium nib person. And as much as I want to love an architect nib, I prefer a stub. So that's just all there is to it. So this is Octopus Write and Draw ink, which means it is a pigmented ink. So I can't keep it in here too long. And yeah, I can't keep it in here too long, and you have to be extra careful flushing the pen out. And the colorway is Orange Skunk. Never seen an orange skunk until I saw the drawing on the front, or painting on the front of the ink jar, and it was literally a skunk in orange. So another coral colored pen. I have two coral colored pens. And I also have coral in this one, and I have coral in this one. What do you think is my favorite ink color? If you said coral at the moment, you would be correct. It's coral and it's dusty mauve right now. I have to work to get myself to use any other ink color. So I'm just going to stand up. Oi, that is awkward. And zoom out. So that you can see the whole page. Oh, no, not quite. Zoom out more. There we go. The whole page. And this is my, let me just put the pens back in it. My pen block from Galen Leather. And you'll notice 3 empty spaces, which means I have 10 pens inked. And that is the puppy ringing the bells. So I need to go and let the dog out to pee. Thanks for sticking with me. I hope you got something useful done while I was babbling about my currently inked pens. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.